Hello and welcome back to the 16th episode of the Under the Umbrella podcast from the Big Green Umbrella Media Studio. I'm one of your hosts, Cody Williams, Cityview reporter with
Tammy Pearson, Iowa Living Magazine's editor.
How about that? Tammy, I just noticed that I have an error on our prep sheet. I've got an extra space after or before the comma by my name.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm just no good.
You need to edit.
I need to here. I'll put a little correction on it.
Nobody's reading it but me, so
I
it
know.
doesn't matter.
It matters in my heart of hearts. Well, I think we've got plenty to talk about today, so why don't we just jump right in? Let's ignore the nasty, nasty rainy weather outside.
The lovely, lovely rainy weather.
What's lovely about it?
It is making my flowers and plants just whoosh.
I suppose that's true, and that's a big benefit.
It is.
And the grass is starting to get greener outside.
My lawn has been mowed.
Okay.
Crazy, huh?
Do you get any fun patterns in it?
No.
Fair enough.
Haven't thought about that.
Wouldn't that be interesting? That's something if I had a big yard and free time, I guess.
I do have a path from my house to the neighbor's house, this little tiny path where my two outdoor cats, they're neighborhood cats actually, but they go from their back porch to my back porch, and there is literally a path that has been worn.
A little
there.
trail.
Mm-hmm.
One of my, before we jump in, I had a friend, or the neighborhood I used to live in, my friend's next door neighbor had a dog, and that they would put on like a lead outside in the front yard, and there was just dirt from how far the lead would stretch out because the dog was always trying to get to the sidewalk. It's still there. I drove into that neighborhood over the summer, and that's still in the yard. I think that guy's since moved out, but it's still there.
That makes me sad.
Oh, why?
Because that dog wants to run and be joyful, and there it is being tethered to this limited little circle.
I suppose that's true.
Let's go to the
news. A Des Moines man is appealing the outcome of a contested divorce. He has asked one of the state's Supreme Court justices, Justice Christopher McDonald, to take no part in the case because he says the justice had an affair with his wife. What's your take on that, Tammy?
Well, the justice did recuse himself.
He did.
And said that there was a personal relationship, but did not go into any detail, which,
yes.
Justices are people.
They are people.
Why did you pick this story?
It's an interesting story. It's an interesting one, I thought, anyway.
Well, it's nice when a justice does the right thing and recuses.
Right, he recused himself.
When there's a conflict of interest.
Yes. I thought that was is a very interesting headline. Supreme Court justice asked to recuse himself from divorce appeal over alleged affair.
It surprises me that divorce cases go to the Supreme Court. I guess if you're appealing, that's the ultimate place you end up. But
right.
I just wouldn't have thought of the Supreme Court addressing divorce cases.
Yeah, I guess because it was an appeal of a contested divorce, and I guess I don't know how divorce proceedings work.
I hope you never have to find out, Cody.
Well, I hope so too. But that was just an attention-grabbing headline, I thought.
Indeed.
Next, Zachary Gaskill was convicted of involuntary manslaughter after being charged 8 years ago in the death of famous Des Moines architect Kirk Blunk. I believe the prosecution was seeking second-degree murder charges. And
the defense argued that there was not enough evidence that there was any intent to commit murder, and so the jury apparently agreed and came up with an involuntary manslaughter conviction.
Mm-hmm. Blunk, I didn't realize how much hand he had in a lot of, old Des Moines buildings being renovated, brought back to life, things like that. A lot of work in the East Village, the Teach Out building, Crane Artist Lofts, and other projects in Sherman Hill and the Des Moines Arts Center.
Wow. Quite an
Mhm.
impact.
Quite an impact.
Architecturally. Yes.
I do, to try to find a positive spin out of this, out of a, sad death. I love it when architects don't just tear down and they try to renovate and they try to preserve. I like that.
I like keeping our historical buildings.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a pricey undertaking, but I think it's worth it.
Absolutely.
And to have such a variety of architecture in the city is wonderful.
It is. It is. And I think there's some pretty nice architecture around Des Moines.
There is.
And I hope when that giant skyscraper that's reporting to go up in downtown Des Moines where the old Kaleidoscope at the Hub used to be, I hope it's pretty looking.
What's going to be in it?
Oh, I think there's a ton of that. I know that there's going to be housing and office space, what you'd probably expect from a skyscraper.
Taller than the other buildings we have?
I don't recall that off the top of my head, but it'll be very prominent in the skyline. I hope it's just not like a giant rectangle. I hope it's got a little character to it at least.
Yes, we want character.
That's what we would like. We'd like a little character in the skyline.
Indeed.
Next up, the 22nd annual Iowa Best Breaded Tenderloin Contest is back. You can go to iowapork.org to nominate your favorite tenderloin restaurant and their website. The top 40 nominations will end up getting judged. Is that right, Tammy?
Yes, that's right.
The top 40. Do you have one in mind? I know I have one in mind. I already nominated my favorite.
Let me guess.
Go
Was
ahead.
it Smitty's?
It was
Tenderloin?
indeed. It
Down
was
in your neighborhood?
Oh, of course. I had to.
I have been there, and it is delicious.
It's delicious. And I honestly, the next time, now that I've moved to the west side, the next time I'm on the south side, I have to get a tenderloin. I think about it every time I get a tenderloin somewhere else. I like that they're very thin. They have a very thin tenderloin. And I like that. I think you get a tenderloin in a lot of places, and they're thick, and that's not what I want.
And they're always huge. Like, you got this little bun, and the tenderloins just
you just
are
end up
expansive.
breaking it off.
Is that how you do it?
That's what I do personally.
Oh.
I just take it and rip it, and if it's cooked well and it's nice and tender, it'll just peel right off.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is then that you don't get a bite of pickle.
Oh.
Or onion or mustard
Oh.
on those edges, It's, I think I just want it on a plate covered with toppings, and that way I can get a bite of pickle in every bite of tenderloin.
You're ruining it.
I know you don't like pickles.
Or mustard.
You're crazy.
You're ruining it.
Or mustard.
Ew.
A tenderloin without mustard.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's not crazy. It's crazy that you want it with mustard.
I would like listeners to respond to editor at DM Cityview and tell the editor that a tenderloin without mustard is not American.
Sacrilegious, maybe.
It's something wrong.
It's just so gross. It's so
What do you
so
have
gross.
on your tenderloin then?
Ketchup, lettuce, tomato, onion. Just kind of like a burger, but with tenderloin instead.
Okay.
And that's about it. Maybe even ranch if I'm feeling frisky.
Wow. You are off the chain.
Or like a spicy mayo. I think that would really liven it up. Do you have a tenderloin in mind that you would nominate?
I would nominate Smitty's, yes.
You'd nominate Smitty's.
Yes.
We're pushing an agenda.
We are.
And I'm at the forefront.
Go to iowapork.org.
Yes.
And nominate today.
Nominate today. For whichever one you're feeling the best. You don't have to go nominate Smitty's. There's plenty of great ones across Iowa, known for the tenderloin.
There are, yes.
That is going to transition us into sports. And Caitlin Clark, of course, went number 1 overall to the Indiana Fever. And slightly unexpectedly, Kate Martin ended up getting drafted in the second round to the Las Vegas Aces. I think she was in attendance. I think she was just there to support Caitlin, but there was a chance she could get drafted, chance she might not, but I think her main reason for being there was to support Caitlin. She got drafted, and she's a great player too. She's fantastic.
Wonderful news for Iowa women.
And Lucy Olson, I just saw that news, I think today or last night. Lucy Olson from Villanova is transferring to Iowa. She was one of the top scorers in women's basketball last year. So they're getting not necessarily a Caitlin Clark replacement. That's probably almost impossible, but they are getting a good pull in Lucy Olson.
Third top scorer in the nation is what I think I read.
You saw that? Look, Tammy,
I did. Oh, come on, Cody. Give me a little more credit.
Well, I didn't even put that on the sheet. I just wrote that down.
And there I go.
There
giving
you
a
go.
tidbit of information there.
Wow.
But that's we're going to have another exciting year of basketball next year, aren't we?
Hopefully. I imagine. I hope they keep getting that coverage that they deserve, women's basketball, because it is good. They play great basketball. And they tend to be better shooters than the men. People do not realize that. They're fantastic shooters. They're very good.
Maybe because women are a little more calculating and I'm sorry, Cody. I should not.
I'm not going to say it's because I'm just going to say that they're great basketball players, and I do love to watch women's basketball.
Yes.
So hopefully they'll keep that coverage going. In Iowa State basketball news, Tyrese Halliburton, which he's not at Iowa State anymore, obviously, but he was named to the star-studded list for Team USA's Olympic basketball team. That team, Tammy, is going to wipe the floor in the Olympics. They spared no expense. They've got all the big names. They're going to dominate.
Any others that I might recognize?
Kevin Durant?
Okay.
Cool. Did you recognize that one?
Okay, I'm not a big basketball fan.
I can't remember if LeBron agreed to go. I think he did. LeBron James.
I did see that.
Joel Embiid is going to play with Team USA, I believe. That was a bit controversial, but big news. They're gonna waltz to that gold medal.
Well, I hope that you're right.
Oh, I know.
Unless there's some miracle team like Croatia that.
Croatia's usually pretty good. France is going to be really good. Spain's always pretty good. Germany's not as good anymore. No Dirk.
Well, go USA.
USA. And girls' high school state soccer tourney is going to be coming to Ames next year through 2027. That, because I think it's been held at County for the longest time, and now it's going to be moving up to Ames.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Which they have some great facilities up there in Ames at Lead, and their other, they've been building a lot out there in the past couple of years. So that'll be nice. I played up there during the Iowa games. I played on some of their fields, and they're pretty nice last summer. They're pretty decent. So that'll be nice.
Well, all right.
I believe the boys are still going to be playing at County, though, which is where I played plenty of games. And the fields at County are fantastic as well. And also, Tammy, this is not Iowa-centered sports news, but this was more national news. Did you hear about Jonte Porter?
I did not.
You did not? He was banned for life from the NBA for betting on basketball.
Yes, I did see that.
Oh, banned for life. He made like $70,000 betting on basketball.
Oh.
That's it.
Destroyed his career.
And basketball money is the best money. It's mostly guaranteed, their contracts, and they get paid a lot. Ridiculous. Some guy made millions of dollars betting on. Do you know the extent?
No.
Well,
extent of what?
Just what he was doing. So he had a group, and he would, essentially tell people what to bet on. And people were betting on his props. People were betting on his props, his individual props, and making tons and tons of money off of like his stat line. Someone put in like an $80,000 bet on one of his individual props. And if you're putting $80,000 on Jonte Porter props, that person should be arrested in and of themselves. Who does that?
Who?
I don't know. Not me.
Not me.
I only put $10 on John Taylor. But that's all I had for you for sports news, Tammy.
Well, okay.
We'll move to entertainment. Prime in Providence, a new steakhouse, is opening with everything cooked via fire. They'll have Japanese imported Kobe beef, but they did say that they're not going to be a fancy steakhouse. They'd like to be somewhere in the middle, and that's going to be opening up in West Des Moines in May.
Well, how expensive? Kobe beef is pretty expensive, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Getting it imported. I've never had it. I've never tried it. Have you tried it? Kobe beef?
I have not. They did have it at our local grocery store at one point.
Really?
Yeah, for a short time. And I have to say that I hardly ever buy a steak, and I certainly wasn't going to pay that price for it.
No.
But it's good beef is what I hear.
Oh,
so
yeah.
go try it out when Prime in Providence opens.
Oh, yeah. That sounds nice. That or Wagyu. Have you ever had any Wagyu?
No.
Oh, me either. But you just hear people rant and rave about it.
I think all I've had is like Angus beef from nearby.
Which is good.
It is.
Which is very good.
It is.
But yeah, check that out. Another new restaurant opening up. And the Golden Bachelor, Jerry Turner, is getting divorced after 3 months of marriage post the inaugural episode of The Golden Bachelor.
Oh.
Jerry Turner from Iowa, which is why it is relevant, even though he was living in Indiana at the time. But
well, his marriage lasted 100 days.
That it did.
The shortest marriage in the franchise history.
Is that true?
Yes, 20-year franchise history of The Bachelor. No marriage has lasted less than 101 days until this one.
Was 101 the previous record?
No, I don't know what the previous record was.
I would have, to be honest, I would have imagined there were much shorter ones than that, but I guess not.
Yeah, somehow I just don't think that a reality show is conducive to a good start to a marriage.
Yeah, maybe not.
No.
Because I wonder how many from the 20 years are still together to this day.
That's a good question.
Do you think it aligns with, they say 50% of marriages end in divorce? Do you think there's 10 couples still together?
I would bet against it if I were a betting person, but, I don't know.
Under.
We'll have to research that.
Dang, that's an interesting question, yeah. Because I'd never watched The Bachelor. I did used to watch Love Island, and they pretty consistently would split up. They weren't getting married at the end of the show, but they would pretty consistently split up not too long after the end of the season.
Well, it's you're dating a pool of people that have been picked by producers who,
They're trying to find interesting people.
Right. And you know what? Some of us boring people make good spouses.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. But that was all I had for you for entertainment news, Tammy. I guess we're going to have to look that up. How many bachelor relationships are still going?
Who cares?
Our topic.
Move on. What have you got next, Cody?
Well, we polled our Facebook followers and asked them, which pizza toppings do you refuse to order? And I got to tell you, we got a lot of responses. The number one answer definitely on this post was anchovies.
Oh, yes.
Followed by pineapple. The thing is, I don't think I've ever even seen anchovies as an option, as a pizza topping.
I don't know if I have either.
Because, I feel like you always would see that in, like, movies. There'd always be the one person, can we put anchovies on it? I went ordering from Domino's or Papa John's. I don't see anchovies on there ever. People used to talk about it like it was a staple.
Times have changed, perhaps.
Would you put...
Have you ever had an anchovy?
I don't think so, no.
No, neither have I.
Aren't they just supposed to be salty? Is that the idea?
I think so.
Really salty?
Mm-hmm.
Pineapple was up there, was said a lot as well. How do you feel about pineapple on pizza?
Nah.
I don't want it on my pizza. I don't want fruit on my pizza.
Well, yeah, pineapple is sort of acidic, so I just don't like that added to my pizza. No.
What would you say is your number one? Do not put that because if there's pizza available and the only type of pizza is a pineapple pizza, I will eat some.
Oh, I will eat it. Yes.
I will eat some. But what would be something on there? I'd say in the realm of normal pizza toppings. So you can't pick anchovies.
So I can't say candy corn.
You can't say candy corn. That would also be a deal breaker, I suppose.
Well, there are a lot of. Would you consider seafood to be a?
Ooh.
Can I say that? Because I was looking up types of pizza, and in Italy, pizza with seafood is a common choice.
Yeah.
But I can't say that I would want seafood on my pizza.
I don't think I would either. Like a shrimp pizza.
Right.
Or maybe a
calamari.
Ooh. That wouldn't be too bad, I guess.
No.
Depending on the sauce or the cheese.
I can't imagine
no.
it.
I was just thinking about it, and it sounds gross.
It really
A lot
does.
of people did say olives.
Oh,
I wouldn't want black
I would
olives on
skip
there.
olives.
If black olives were on there, I'd probably say no. Mushrooms is pretty high up there for me not wanting.
Me
I'm not
too.
a big mushroom person.
I don't like texture of mushrooms.
Because I think a lot of the time they tend to be rubbery.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. And what my friend who's a chef will always say is, oh, you haven't had them cooked right. And I go, well, nobody's cooking them right, apparently. I had his one time, and they were very tasty.
I have had mushrooms in some dishes and not objected to them. But generally speaking, yeah, they're kind of rubbery.
Someone said spinach. I would have spinach on pizza, depending on the, like a spinach artichoke pizza. Ooh, I would eat that up. Someone said kraut.
Sauerkraut?
That's got to be that. I saw that, and I was like, what is that?
Must be sauerkraut.
Got to be. A couple of mentions of goat cheese.
Ooh.
Where are these people ordering pizza from?
I don't know.
That have goat cheese as an option. Ugh. I just wanted your take on that.
I'll tell you, I've had Zips Pizzeria in, I believe it's Adair, which is now just a food truck. But anyway, they have a potato pizza, potato and other toppings. And oh boy, yummy.
What kind of potato? Like the crust is potato or?
No, it's kind of slimly sliced. That's slimly sliced, potatoes and then other cheese. I mean, doesn't that sound good?
Sounds pretty good.
Potatoes, cheese.
Just
I think
it's
it
not
adds
like
some
a
chives and.
It's not like fried. The potato.
No, I don't. No. No.
I'd probably still try it because potatoes are great
Like
all the time.
potato au gratin, kind of on
What?
top of pizza. Potato au gratin. Did you grow up in the United States?
I think so. Potato au gratin?
Yes. You do not know what that is?
I have no clue.
It's it's a baked potato dish, creamy sauce.
Really layered?
Yeah, kind of. Yes. Oh,
I can't say I know.
wow.
I wouldn't have anchovies on pizza, though. No chance.
No.
Or olives.
No.
I would eat some with pineapple, though. That's the typically hot take. It's fine. I'm a big meat pizza guy. That's my main thing. I love a meat pizza. Don't really like Supreme. Don't want the mushrooms. But I wanted your take on that. We got a lot of responses to that on our Facebook, so I figured we'd...
People can continue to add their responses.
Yes.
Go to our Facebook page.
Go to our Facebook page. Keep the conversation going.
And tell them how good potato pizza is.
Yeah, tell me about potato au gratin.
Let's
More like potato is rotten.
Set Cody straight. What's coming up, Cody?
I'll tell you what's coming
I'd
up,
like to
Tammy.
know.
There's an interactive seesaw exhibit being added to Cole's Commons for the month.
I want to go. I want a teeter-totter.
I think it's going in tomorrow, and it'll be going in through the next 30 days, so around to May 18th, May 19th, I believe. I know I've been around Coles Commons because that's by Court area, around an interesting night on the weekend, and I got to say, if they put seesaws up there at night by Court Avenue, someone's going to have a good time on the seesaw. I don't know. Try to do a flip off of it or something.
That's funny that, did I say teeter-totter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I call them teeter-totters.
Wow, what a difference. Because,
I thought that's what was written here, in fact, but no, it's seesaw.
Seesaw, teeter-totter, tomato, potato. The Des Moines Latino Film Festival is occurring today and tomorrow at the Fleur Cinema. The Iowa Wild play on Friday against Grand Rapids, as well as the Cubs are playing on Friday against Louisville. And the Cubs will be playing on Saturday as well, also against Louisville. And the 20th is Earth Day, Tammy. There's going to be tons and tons of Earth Day-related events around the metro. You can see the Cityview Coming Up page. There's a nice sidebar in there with Earth Day-themed events all around the metro.
And if you don't have your copy in front of you, just go online to the website and you can see the issue.
That's absolutely right. The 20th is also 420, Tammy. Are you celebrating?
I celebrate every day.
Okay. Well, I think that's going to do it for us. Tammy, do you have anything you want to add?
No.
Okay. Well, that's going to do it for us. We'd like you to say thank you for listening. From everyone at Big Green Umbrella Media to the Under the Umbrella podcast, we hope you enjoyed today's episode. You can read Cityview stories at www.dmcityview.com and subscribe to the Daily Umbrella at www.thedailyumbrella.com/subscribe. If you have a story suggestion or would like to make a comment about what kind of pizza you like or potato au gratin, you can send those to editor@dmcityview.com. Thank you and goodbye.